What's up, everyone? Episode 3, we discuss the best comedy movies of all time. Dean talks about an underwater treasure from an ancient world. And Ben has some saucy confessions from you lot.
Choose the fact.
Boys! Boys!
Nice, lads.
What's going on? Episode 3, Chewing the Fat. This is Tuesday, but for us, we're gonna let you behind the curtain. It's Friday for us, isn't it, boys?
It's Friday, baby.
And you know what Friday means, don't you?
I'll try and rustle this as little as possible.
We do that on a Tuesday.
We've all had a long week. We're looking forward to this one. And Ben, what have you got for us?
So, to be fair, boys, I actually have been bigging it up, so this better live up to it. I found a nice little cocktail shop in Angel the other day.
And what's it called, Ben?
It's called, it's written right there, the Bottle Cocktail Shop. They could have spent a bit more time on that, admittedly, but we'll move.
If their cocktails are good, they don't matter, does it? Really?
You know what you're Googling there, don't you?
Yeah.
The SEO is on point.
There's no misdirection.
Although you're probably going to be way down the list on, right? You know, there's going to be a lot of similar.
So I will say, any purists out there, we know that an old fashioned should be made.
Yeah, we do.
Up front, but
We're not saying this is better.
I'm not saying it's better, but it's what we have.
But for a ready-made solution, you're saying it's right up there.
I'd say it's up there for sure.
We need a bit of orange peel, really. But
I know. Don't.
Hey, look.
mind me. Oh, listen to that noise! Isn't that one of the sexiest noises imaginable?
Yes.
Oh, there you go for the audio listeners.
Nice in the glass.
Literally drink that in. All right, boys. Yeah, nice one. Wait for me, shall we?
Ooh, sorry.
What do you think I was dragged up?
All right, there we go.
All right, cheers, boys. Cheers, everyone at home.
Cheers,
Join in
cheers.
if you've got a glass. If you haven't, then watch with envy.
Just sobriety.
But yeah, we've been looking forward to this. I think this is quickly becoming the highlight of our weeks. Hopefully, it's becoming the highlight of your weeks as well. Episode 3, we've got...
An old-fashioned, all right?
Oh, good. Old-fashioned. On South Park.
You didn't kill him, did you?
But yeah, I mean, episode 2, I really enjoyed that episode, actually. Last episode. We do have something to admit. Unfortunately, the hilarious image that we critiqued for at length with the the Florida man kicking the gator, turned out to be AI. So we got hoodwinked. Y'all got hoodwinked. We got hoodwinked together.
Do you reckon the crocodile even got hoodwinked? I reckon.
You said crocodile last week as well, but it definitely is an alligator.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, what, because he's smaller?
Yeah, a crocodile is about 3 times bigger than,
Okay.
And, 40 million years older. But,
Fact check that.
That's all I know.
That's a lie. Yeah.
But you know what? AI or not, it doesn't really matter. We had a laugh.
We had a laugh.
And that's all that matters, isn't
And to
it?
be fair, I mean, goddamn, how good's AI now? Duping us.
Mate.
I use it at work a lot. I use it for
AI's great.
mood images, trying to create when you try and Google an image to convey your thoughts. AI can do it. The only thing that it messes up with is fingers and hands. It gives
Constantly.
people 7 fingers, and that's
I
always.
swear they AI'd Biden saying something or a president saying something.
Yeah, but that's that's AI, and then the editing on top of it, and it's really for people like me that aren't designers. Then
But
I'm
you can
limited.
basically you could say, oh, so and so said this, and it's AI.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
even know,
100%.
and
It's
you're
like
like, oh.
advanced deepfake kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And then the other thing we can fact check was the Bluetooth. I was right with that. However,
Fact checked himself, did he?
however, wasn't quite right with the why.
Oh, go on then.
So it wasn't that he was good at navigating; it was that he connected basically Scandinavia as one big kingdom.
Mapped it out.
Gotcha. So to be fair,
so that was the connection part.
And that's the bit I was sceptical about. So
Yeah.
we're both kind of right.
Did you
yeah?
fact check cathedrals?
No, I did not. But yeah, that's.
I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
I mean, so bit of a conspiracy around the gator.
Yeah.
But I suppose that is a tidy
Oh.
segue, my good friend Dean, into Dean's conspiracies.
Well,
That's
That's a sweet conspiracy right there.
right there. That deserves a.
You don't learn your buttons yet, Sam.
yeah.
That deserves that.
Please now
Fact
go
check
through
yourself.
all of them.
Yeah, the thing is, the monitor here is very, very small, isn't it? So, but how about this?
Who done it? Where did they do it? And how did they cover it up? It's time for Dean's Conspiracies no more.
Over to you, my
Okay,
curly-haired
so,
friend.
I'm going to show you a picture first.
Why don't you explain to the viewers, since it's the first time we're doing this?
Okay.
Yeah.
What this is even about, and then obviously they'll get it quite quickly in the name. But
I'm a bit of a I'm a bit of a hound for a conspiracy, to be fair, and I do love you can just find rabbit holes.
you get lost, don't you?
You can, yeah. It's kind of a bit dangerous me doing this as a section, really, because I might end up in a straitjacket or something. I don't
Calling
know,
yourself
but,
a hound for it is just the nicest way you could have said it as well.
Yeah.
sniff it out, basically.
An unassuming dog with a lovely little collar.
That's
You're
not
more like
how
a
it is.
rabid.
That is
You're a rabid badger, more like.
frothing at the mouth.
And I'm going to find a conspiracy to talk about. And just so you know, I don't always believe or not believe what I'm seeing. I just like to.
You enjoy the journey, don't you?
Yeah, man, put me in that hole, innit?
Yeah.
I'm here for the ride. So today's one, this is basically on the, I hope I'm saying this right, Antikythera mechanism, which was found, it's a mechanical calculator. It was found in 1902 in a shipwreck off Greece.
Okay.
And it's basically originated, well, it's believed to have been constructed between 150 BC and 100 BC. So it's like, apparently, it's like 15,000 years. Like it predates any artifact similar to that by 15,000 years, basically. So it's like a crazy old ass.
Okay, we'll put it on the screen
mechanism.
now. Can I have a look?
Yeah. And basically people so whoever had it, aliens,
Whoever had it, make that one of what you will. But I'm going to completely influence you nonetheless.
so yeah, I mean, the fact that it just predates anything that they had at the time by so many, like 1,500 years, you know, and like there was nothing around at the time. They've just found it. Like where did like?
Why has it got an Apple logo on it?
Made in China.
They were ahead of their time. But one scientist said it was like finding a jet plane in the tomb of King Tut.
Well, there you go.
You know, that's
I
basically.
really
that's the
like
equivalent.
one scientist said.
Yeah. Unnamed scientist. Yeah.
What's his PhD in?
Yeah.
He's dead now. Yeah.
But he lives a life of luxury with all his
killed him off.
inventions and.
But I mean, basically, so it's, you know, for what it is, how was it around at this time? You know, obviously, a lot of people believed that in ancient Greek and, you know, from the Daubings of ancient Greek times.
Daubings?
Daubings. Wonderful.
word. Is that a word?
Well, yeah, that's a wonderful little bit. I was very impressed by that. Go on.
Right.
In like ancient Egypt and Greece and all that, you know, they have like in the
ancient
symbolism.
Daubings.
Yeah.
Sick.
In the ancient Daubings, there's
That's the
like
episode name.
Daubings is perfect. Yeah.
yeah, you know, they have like in the pictures, you know, possibility that there's like things in the sky and stuff like that, which obviously there was not things in the sky then. So, you know, did it come from a foreign place like that we didn't have the technology and they brought it to us, or like how, like why is there only one? Why have you only found one of those? You know, what do you think?
So I can see why you get lost here, because it does ask a question. I guess the part for me that I never get on, and I think you're the same as me, is don't then answer that question with a load of loose theories. Well, what could it be? Could it be this? You know, like that's the bit that always gets me with this.
There's an incredible amount of like logical leaping going on.
Yeah, because let's face it, we've barely scratched the surface on history in general. It's probably people that, you know, it's a look of what we found, look of what wasn't destroyed or changed.
Yeah.
You know,
or
so
is there more of these and they've just leaked one of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they had them all the time or something.
Who's leaked it?
But they found it at the bottom of the ocean on a
the
shipwreck.
one thing he loves the they.
He loves they.
He loves that they leaked it.
I always want to.
Because
Official
they
them.
and them are always covering this up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the
And
they
how-
and the thems.
They didn't. Well,
And
how did
that's
they
not-
cover it up? We don't know yet.
That's not a
because-
dig at any non-binary viewers watching at all. You know, we're not saying you. We're saying the they them in the conspiracy world,
Yeah,
right?
Good.
The
Good
powers that
distinction.
be, you know,
Like,
the people that drip feed us this stuff.
Don't need any enemies on this show, do we?
Not
Everyone
this
is
early.
welcome.
But basically, it was used to predict astronomical events. Basically, it's like a cog wheel that has like, you know, basically it was it could function as a cog, like a moving
But
mechanism.
it doesn't function now and cannot predict anything right now in the state it's
Well,
in.
because it's been at the bottom of the ocean for. Imagine the rust.
that'll do it.
15,000 years at the bottom
That
of the
will do
ocean.
it, to be fair.
What's
won't
it made of?
it? Vibranium.
Yeah. Adamantium.
Adamantium.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Unobtainium. Sorry. That's
Unobtainium. That's the one. That's the one.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous easium or something. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'll find out what it's made from next time.
So, what? Maybe I'm showing my ignorance here. What?
Sorry.
What things are they trying to predict? Astronomical events.
Like
so,
at the time when they used it, it was used. So I think on the back
Such as
there was like the
cloudy
moon
days.
and the sun.
yeah, is this what we're talking about? We're talking about meteorology. We're talking about weather.
Yeah, well, apparently on the back of it there was like a sun and a moon or something.
Oh, that means it must have predicted stuff.
Right. Yeah.
you know, like this.
So we know when to dodge
it's got
meteors.
I'm pretty sure my nan's sundial in the garden that was a bird
It
bath
looks
had
like
a
a
sun and a moon
sundial
on
that
it.
had been dropped at the ocean for a
looks
long time.
amazing.
To be
It's
honest, it looks like a sextant.
Yeah,
Well, it's a section.
well, they were on the ocean.
It's
when they
like
used it.
ocean navigation tool, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
okay,
it
okay,
would
yeah,
probably
yeah.
also make more
Maybe
sense
it
why
was.
it's at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
actually probably only 200 years. No, I think there's room to know a bit more on this.
But for them to say it's 1500, like, well, no, it's from 150 BC, 100
is
BC.
this that same scientist?
I mean,
It's the they and the them dig it up.
there was
Yeah.
just a
It's like-
bunch
it's
of guys
like-
around a table in white coats, and one of them said,
Yeah,
It's like that
yeah.
show on Netflix, the guy that goes to like those ancient sites, and he's basically been discredited by mainstream history, and he loves a leap. This guy does. I'll put him up on screen now. I'll find out what his name is in the show. I think it's called Ancient Kingdoms or something like that. And he basically goes to like a Mayan temple, like a Mayan ruin, sorry, and then he basically says, "Well, this is what you think it is, but actually it's 50 times bigger."
Right, yeah.
And then, to be fair, there are some things that he discovers that are a bit nuts. And he's like, well, this is basically, it's like an extension. So someone built it 1,000 years ago. Then 500 years later, they built a bit more, which you could see happening. And then they covered things up, and then it turned into a hill because
well, like
it
things
got...
get buried. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I went to ancient. I went
But
to.
he loves a leap. And he'll have some like local Mexican scientist there just on camera himself.
Gets the juices going, doesn't it? Though, you know, like
Like they've paid him a few pesos just to be visibly scared. You know. But okay, so let us know what you think too. What was the name of the
the Antikytherian. one second. Antikytherian mechanism.
the Antikytherium mechanism? There you go. Let us know what you think of that conspiracy. As I say, me and Ben are slightly skeptical, but we want to give Dean a benefit of the doubt. We're all.
I mean, at least you have some hard factual. This is actually something here. It's in a museum. If you want
It's
to go and look
something
at
that
it
has
somewhere.
been found in an ocean. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I don't mind that. That's better than some of the stuff I've heard you.
Yeah.
Some of the things you spewed in our WhatsApp group.
That's a really good first entry. I like
Yeah.
that.
Well done. Well done.
Top man.
Feel free to check out more about it and yeah.
And then okay.
Tell
I
me
must
more.
confess, I quite enjoyed that one.
Oh,
there he is.
Oh, dirty boy.
Name me. Played it.
Why is that, Ben? Why?
Because now we're going to try a new little segment called, what would we call it? Confessions.
Confession session. Big tune, by the way. Solid album.
You knew it was going to be.
album.
Solid album.
Such a
he
good,
says.
such a good meme when he did that on NPR as well. It's just so good.
I'm going to rekindle that.
It was like some chavvy account I saw that was like, when the missus says come back by 7, but you've already had 5 pints. What's this?
I'm not coming home.
I do love a chavvy
That's
meme.
very good. It's very good.
So what? This is you found a confession online?
I
Or?
did a little bit of a dumpster dive just to see.
Dumpster dive.
Basically, what it felt like anyway.
Forgive me, Father Clayton, for I have sinned.
And basically, I just wanted to see what kind of stuff's out there and try and compile a list of nice and different
What is
ones.
out there?
Because there's too much out there. I'll tell you that right
People
now.
have done some stuff.
People have done a few things. So what I've tried to do this time, I've got like 4 or 5 of these things here now, and I've got a nice array. Some of them are thinkers. Some of them are just base. Like you just go, what is going on there? And I just want to leave them in the room for you boys to have a little think and play and basically chew on.
Yeah,
for a bit.
ooh.
Yeah, that's what
God,
we're
he's
gonna
on
do.
brand today, isn't he?
All over the
He's
brand
sipping the
today.
Kool-Aid, isn't he?
Deep in the Kool-Aid. Right, so I'm just going to hit it straight off. And I think you'll like this one, Dean, because you can maybe this will be something that you've possibly done in the past.
Oh, God.
It's not that bad, trust me. Okay, so I've got one chap here that says he works for a water company and he regularly calls in fake jobs in a funny voices in the area near him to basically get the call-out fees and double pay and overtime. So he's been doing this for a little while and he's basically raked it in.
Work
Lovely stuff.
smart, not hard.
It's a little bit clever.
Yeah.
No, that's the kind of. I was expecting something foul off the bat.
Yeah.
and I like how you've picked a bit of a witty one.
A little misdirection for you, the boys.
Yeah.
I'm
Can
not
I
very
say,
crass, by the way, guys.
Where would be the like receipt for the work done. You know, like how could you say to your boss like I've
There's a tradesman.
Yeah, this is why I thought
knows
he
the
might know.
admin.
Now, what I was going to say was, though, my interpretation of that would be that he'd still get the call-out fee anyway just to turn up and go there, even if nobody's actually there to back it up.
Also, I imagine he's got a form that he makes most people sign that he just does himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, these things aren't that sophisticated.
And then
They get
also
it-
when you say no work was done, like it was all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So
I
there's
just-
the insights.
There is something great when you are, when you're younger and you think about work, you think, oh, look at all these responsible people. And you think that work and having a job is like a really big thing. And then you do it for ages. And you realise most people are just trying to get away with as little as possible, which is why we don't really progress.
It's detestable.
Because none of it, like the majority of people in employment are not doing their best on purpose.
And the
for
abuse of
sure.
power is like
Yeah, and the idea that some
destructive
people have just found a sweet little loophole.
Yeah. There's something to be respected there. isn't
100%.
there? Yeah, you're absolutely
100%.
right.
Oh, yeah,
You're absolutely
yeah.
right.
like,
Okay.
I'm winning this one. Yeah, do you know
I
what
like
mean?
that. That's a
Yeah,
good.
I'm working for you, but hey, it's working for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. Wait.
It's a victimless crime as well. There, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
valid.
What big water? I don't know if that's a thing.
Big water.
Don't get me started on the
again.
conspiracies of
Checking
big
out
water,
my
mate.
Thames, my Thames water bill. I fucking call them big water.
Yeah.
Should wear a mask and a stripy
Owned by a
jumper.
French or Chinese company as well, by the way.
Was that
So it's-
right?
That's why it's not being looked after, is it? Because they're doing it. You know, they don't really care if the water. You know, and
But do you think?
Chinese?
Do you think an
company-
English company would care more about the water?
Probably not, because we've got terrible customer
I
service.
just don't
but-
think anyone that owns these places needs to care because people will just buy it regardless.
This has turned into
Anyway,
a hot button issue.
another
This is
conspiracy.
great. Yes, one for next week. Right, so I'm going to springboard straight into the other end of the spectrum on this. No. Sorry, this is stupid.
I like a little chuckle from
Is
you.
it,
you know
is
what?
it like
It's
a diving confession or something?
Isn't there just something lovely about a big man who has a chuckle on him? It just warms your cockle,
can't help
doesn't it?
myself.
Yeah, you little cutie.
And this is, you're going to see how tragic my sense of humour is, because this probably isn't funny to anyone else.
Great.
So this is already going to be bad. My mum had a patient who was terminally ill and confessed to killing his twin brother in Vietnam so he could blame the death on the war, steal his identity, and return to the US and get with his brother's wife.
Oh wow!
Just replace him.
Layers.
There's some childhood trauma there, isn't there?
Layers.
He got his lolly stolen a
Yes.
few times, didn't he? Yeah, I'll get you back, Stevie.
Yeah.
He lost his toy tractor one year, and he's been thinking about it ever since.
Did he make his wife eat him in a chili as well or something?
Oh,
You know what I
good
mean?
grief!
That's a
Yeah,
little
was
South
his
Park
name
gag.
Scott Tenorman by any chance?
Yeah, Scott Tenorman.
Is that a South Park joke?
Yeah.
Oh,
South
yeah.
Park,
It's
yeah,
the number one rated South Park episode of all time.
Is it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
wow! I didn't know that.
Almost
But
flew over my head because I've not seen it, but yeah.
that
Never
is,
seen Scott Tenorman
Well,
must
I
die?
heard the name, so I'm like, that must mean something to
Yeah,
me.
so the fundamental is this guy is like a teenager, and obviously Cartman's younger. He sells Cartman pubes, and like basically,
So Cartman can look older or something.
So Hartman can
yeah.
look older, and then they just laugh at him regardless. They keep, and he does it like 3 times, keeps hoodwinking him. So Cartman's like, "Well, I'll show you." So Cartman kills his parents, and there's a big chili competition in town. Cooks them into a chili, makes a really hot chili, and goes, "Hey Scott, I made a chili for you. You gotta try it." And then Scott eats the chili. He's like, "It's lovely." He's like, and then he just tells him that his parents are in it, and he just starts crying.
And then he starts licking his tears. The
Starts
kid's
licking
crying,
his-
so he starts licking
He
his
starts
tears.
licking his
I want
tears.
to taste your
He's
tears,
like,
Scott.
nice
Yeah.
one, Scott. It's just the most
I
Cartman.
fully felt that.
It's
by
the most
way.
Cartman evil moment, and it's just sums it
That's
up.
up there though. Doing that, I mean, his wife was a 10, I assume. You
She
know,
must
or what?
be. She's got to be an absolute baddie back in the day.
Surely she.
I don't think she's.
there'd be ways
I
she'd
don't think
notice,
she's a
though.
10. I think these two brothers are probably weird-looking guys, and it's just the fact that it's a woman that's ever spoke to him.
Right. Two brothers.
Well, he better be identical in every
then
way.
the
Then,
meteor hits.
you know,
Oh.
because she's gonna find out.
Yeah.
you
She'll know. She'll know pretty soon.
Like
He better not have any-
Maybe like a little bit of something weird in the bedroom she does, and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
and he's like, oh, what's that? And she's like, oh, you'd like that before the war?
It'd be a tough job to keep that up, wouldn't it? Remember that time we went to this place and you said this thing? No. The war changed me.
where's
The
my
war
socks?
changed me.
I need-
changed me. That's got
it.
no, I don't want to talk about anything before this. Yeah. He's got his
Do you know
stuff.
what my favourite ever Vietnam War reference of all time is? Bob Fossil. when
Who the hell's Bob Fossil?
Bob Fossil on the Mighty Boosh.
Oh, right,
when
okay.
Vince comes in and threatens him and calls his mum on the phone, and he's basically his mum thinks that he's still a prisoner of war in Vietnam, and he pretends to be Vietnamese. He pretends to be this Vietnamese torturer, and he's going, "Hey, mum, sorry." He's like, "Did you get that thing I sent you in the mail? I know it was just a load of sticks, but that's all I've got to work with."
That reference is insane.
Yeah.
I don't
recently
even remember
rewatched
that.
it,
I
that's
need
why.
to do some Bush.
Remember I
Bush,
told you my
man.
Wi-Fi
I need
dropped
to do
one
some
night,
Bush.
and I found my Boosh DVD
Yes.
and watched it again.
Sick.
We'll get into the Boosh. Anyone that hasn't watched the Mighty Boosh, start watching it now, because in a few episodes, maybe not soon, maybe later on when we've got a bit more of a weird following, which we hope we get, we can dive deep into the Boosh. 'cause
Definitely a weird
it's-
following. But
Oh, yeah.
we're definitely get a weird following.
Which we're all for.
I've just realised that the timer's off. So have we got time? Should I throw another one of these in there?
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more, yeah? Okay, I'll try and pull out a less depressing one.
It's Friday, man.
It's
Tell you what, that's a nice little...
Thank you.
It does.
Yes,
the
boys.
original.
I've had worse old fashions than that in bars before.
100%.
Definitely worse.
Yeah.
If I had a bit of orange there, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, it's a little sipper as well, isn't it? You don't want to like. You
Hold
don't need to
tight
glug it. It's
the
a little
cocktail bottling company or whatever they're called. Probably
You know
butchered
what?
that.
Actually, a really good place. We'll find out a bit more when I shout that guy out properly next time because I'm going to get some more of this.
Well, I'll
Do
put,
they
it,
do
I'll,
Long
tell you what,
Island?
I'll put it on screen now.
Amazing.
And then
not
you
Long
can get
Island,
your bottles
is it?
there. We're not sponsored or anything. Obviously not, because no one
definitely
watches
not,
us. But if you are watching, what are they called again?
It's the bottle
Bottled
cocktail.
cocktail.
Bottle Cocktail Company. If you are watching, send us some stuff.
Yeah, we'll drink it.
Yeah. Don't need any excuse, but cool.
I know I said it'd be less depressing, but it's another deathbed one, so
okay.
let's roll with it. This is nice and short and sharp and quite punchy. My grandfather admitted to me and me alone that he accidentally once had sex with a man.
Okay.
It's simply the accident that throws me.
It's
yeah.
the one. It's,
What trip? Fell, landed on his dick. Like,
Oh, good.
That's such a
Good reference. the one thing I want to say on that one is it doesn't sound that like it's not that crazy. Like a load of men have probably done it.
Yeah.
What I find I want to really touch on here is that conversation when you're in a one-on-one with your granddad, and he said that. Where do you go from there?
yeah, and he's done you dirty because now you have to live with that for
And then you have to
your
live with
whole
it.
life.
Don't tell anyone. When your nan goes, "Oh, your on his deathbed, he was always such a great husband."
Yeah, you'd be like, well,
or was he?
Hear
You
this.
see a slightly fruity guy in the at his funeral wearing a bit of a Hawaiian shirt.
Wow.
You start asking a few questions.
Wow.
Everyone's in black, but one man in a Hawaiian shirt.
Other stereotypes
NPR.
do exist.
Yeah, Jesus wept. The other bit of that for me, the next level of it is why did he feel so comfortable to tell me? Did he think I was gonna?
And also,
come
what am I
out
going to
the
gain
same
from it?
dirt?
Well, I get it. You feel lighter now, but I feel
yeah.
heavier.
No, yeah, and he's dying, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You have to now live. You could. What if he was like 20 and he lives to 6? He's got 40 years worth of my granddad.
Literally.
Yeah, but also the funny thing about it being now is we don't care anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like,
It's
well,
not
all
as
right,
big a
Grandad,
deal as
you
you
know what I
thought.
mean?
Yeah,
You've been
exactly.
holding on to that for 60 years.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
You could have had a life full of that.
Do you know what
You could have had a life of
Could've been
buggery.
filling your boots.
A life of buggery.
That is unreal. Right, clip that.
Right then. So we're going to go into the main event now, and this
Lord.
really is the format that we are really excited about, aren't we, Ben?
I actually think so. This is something that we've been looking forward to all week.
It's a never-ending.
But this, no, not even a week,
Discussion
but
as well.
it's something that, like, when we
just do.
conceptualised this whole podcast, this was going to be the out and out DNA of what we built, wasn't it? It was
That's
us.
essentially what we do anyway, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we compile, we throw away comments about things, and then we challenge each other, and then we make definitive lists of, what is the best so and so, what is the best this, what is the best
Movie, album. Artist,
song,
top
genre,
three,
all the rest.
yeah,
So Ben, tell the people what they've got to expect today.
So we've got a really easy one. I think Sam's teed that up really nicely. But what we're going to do is go into what is essentially our version of a top 10 list. And how we're going to first run this is have the three of us give our top threes in the genre that we're talking about. We all have got slightly different criteria. So what I'll probably ask is, before you give yours, just give a very brief rundown of what your specific criteria
Why
is.
they've made it, yeah.
Because us three being quite similar but also very different, we will have our own criteria for this sort of thing.
The
So
jingle. Sam.
It's time, the top 10.
top 10.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
Taking time out your busy schedule.
Killing
From killing people's parents and cooking chili.
It's a sickening story. Just to go back to that, actually, the thing that stood out to me the most was your use of the word hoodwinked. But just wanted to come back and
We've
say
had some
that.
good words
Yeah,
here. We had
yeah.
hoodwinked, we had what was it?
Daubings.
Daubing.
Ancient Daubings.
Ancient
which is, again,
Daubings and
still
hoodwinked.
the name of the fucking
Tell you
podcast.
what,
Imagine
you
how all those ancient Egyptians that took meticulous time like carving all that stuff, and now for us to just call it a daubing.
I'll tell you what, some podcasts go with shock factor, some go with obvious comedy, some go with high profile interviews that don't have to work that hard to get, and we go with extensive vocabulary, you know?
Nothing makes me prouder. Tell you what,
wanna be
word,
anywhere
nothing
else.
makes me prouder. Okay, so I'm going to hit it up with this now. This section and this genre this week is going to be top 10 silly comedy movies.
Oh,
Does anybody want to go first? Specifically?
I will happily go first. So I think
It's a very
So when we say this, right, we're talking
dense
about
genre.
the silly comedy genre, aren't we? So like the real over the top stuff that is just knows what it is, out and out, stupid, silly, makes everyone laugh. It must have been. These are the kind of films that you imagine being a cameraman on, and it would have been the best few months of your life.
Borderline slapstick.
Slapstick,
yeah.
exactly. So the criteria for me is, I think you've got to have. It's got to be quotable first and foremost. Quotes in these films, I think Will Ferrell does this better than anyone. These silly quotes where you can just say them for years and years and then that's what we do. We literally live for quotes, don't we?
Where we do.
That's our bread and butter. So I think that's one of them. I think the other criteria is that main actor. It's got to be someone that's just owning that whole film, steering the whole film, physical comedy, witty comedy, great writing as well. I think that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it can sometimes be obvious, but that's almost great writing in itself.
Yeah.
Obvious is sometimes great.
I mean,
innit?
you
Yeah.
showed a clip with us the other day of that bribe scene, and I don't know what movie that was in, and that was Leslie
Nielsen.
Nielsen, like some of the little subtext and writing. But so my top 10, no, not top 10. I'm going to throw 3 out that I like, and this has been really hard, as you can imagine. For me, the best 3 movies, what's the word I'm looking for? When you've got a movie franchise,
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Austin Powers. And notably, the second one, and
So good.
which is rare,
So
seldom that the second one is the best one, but I think it is. I think it's because I had it on not Blu-ray, VA. I had it on VHS. I had it on VHS, and I had a VHS combi player in my room. It's about 17 inches, and it was
combis.
the best present I ever got because I could watch what I wanted
Yep.
for once, rather than the main
Yeah,
TV.
sick.
And Spy Who Shagged Me, Austin Powers, just quotes. You had Heather Graham. You had
Graham.
Fat Bastard. You had the start of Mini Me.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're like the
that's
Diet
so
Coke of evil. Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer's in it.
Jerry Springer. Yeah, because
Wow.
They go on the
they go on the
Right,
Springer
okay,
show at the
okay,
start.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's like,
On the
and he's like,
father-son-
you're just not evil enough. You're like the Diet Coke of evil. You're like evil light. Zip it.
Is this to Scotty?
Exhibit
Scotty-
A.
Scotty don't.
Scotty gets
Scotty
ripped.
don't. And then he starts punching the big bodyguard who ended up having his own show. It's just
I love
brilliant.
I love the tent, like you know when they're in the tent with the silhouettes and stuff like that. Those scenes.
That for
are
me
so
is what
good.
this genre's about. It's silly comedy. It's
They're
over the
so
top.
dumb.
And in that movie, I didn't realise until later on, Will Ferrell plays
at the start.
the guy,
Yes.
and it's like
Smells
he has
like
that thing-
walnuts.
He's like, he goes,
Or almonds.
I've broken my leg. Pierced the big angulus. Let me check the other one. Oh, I've broken that one too. And he can't be asked the same question 3 times. Where is Dr. Evil hiding? Where is Dr. Evil hiding? And he's like, no. You asked a new question, which opened a new line of questioning. There's just so many funny bits to it. I can't pinpoint one in particular.
I thought the third one was good though too.
Third one's great.
Third one's great. And the third one, in my opinion, has one of the best movie quotes of all time. Michael Caine, and he goes, there's
I know
2
what you're
things
gonna
in this world that I hate. People intolerant of other people's beliefs and cultures. And the second one is the Dutch.
So good. It's
As they're getting
Actually, the
phenomenal.
nicest people. And
Yeah, but
you know
it's
what I
got
mean? Like,
remember. I mean, the third one for me was a little overproduced. They clearly got a bit more budget.
Yeah.
Beyonce's in it.
The intro.
Oh, the intro
to
for
it
free is crazy.
insane.
So
Yeah.
good.
Intro
So good.
soundtrack. So
Yeah,
that's my.
soundtracks.
That
I think
is
soundtrack has to
my.
be-
I think as well. I'd never get bored of that comedy. You know, there's just some
get
that
you.
you'll
Yeah,
never get bored of.
Just a quick, I'm jumping in there very quickly just to say that Heather Graham is obviously a downgrade from Liz Hurley. That's all.
I don't agree.
No.
Then my number 2.
Heather Graham's so.
Number 2 is going to be Tropic Thunder. I love this movie. I think Tropic Thunder is such an amazing and weird ensemble for a start. The casting director's done incredible. You've got Tom Cruise, the fattest hands in it. It doesn't need to. No one needed
Do they
to
get
make
bigger
his
like every time as well?
his
Don't they get more
forearms and his
ridiculous every time?
hands are so hirsute.
Oh,
You want your vocabulary?
very nice.
Oh, God. I don't even know
Hirsute
what that
hands,
means.
Right,
right?
so he was built like Popeye, but his suit is way better. Yeah.
Popeye thickness and the hair, and he just owns that aggressive movie director role. And then you've got Robert Downey Jr. playing a black man, which, in my opinion, makes it okay. Ben, you're probably better placed to comment on that than me.
But I think it's phenomenal. I think it's such a well-written character.
What's the
it's
bit where
so good.
he
It's
says,
so
like,
well done.
those
like-
people, or what's the...
Yeah, what do you mean,
Yeah.
you people?
Yeah.
Something like that.
They've
Yeah,
been holding
something
us
like
down.
that.
And it's like the most
voice.
stereotypical black man.
the voice is so
It's the voice.
so deep and
And then
hilarious.
you got Jack Black playing like he's got drug addiction. You got Ben Stiller playing
Oh, it's a
Simple
big
Jack.
lineup, man. Big
Simple
lineup,
Jack.
man.
Never go full retard.
Simple Jack is such a
And
concept.
then you've got one of the
That guy in American History X.
cover me, you limp dick figures. Amazing. And then when he's holding Ben Stiller and he's just going, and they're spitting and they're trying to outact each other, and he's holding his arms out, just floppy arms at the end. It's just brilliant. And then my third one, I found this really difficult because I mean, there's no top three. Let's face it. I'm gonna throw one out there, and I'll probably feel differently tomorrow. The Mask.
Okay.
And do you know what? I didn't have this in my list, but today, someone I work with didn't know The Mask. You know, you're getting old when
That's an
people
age
aren't
thing,
getting
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And The
yeah.
Mask for me is, we're going to get onto this, but Jim Carrey is on the Mount Rushmore of comedy actors. We all agree that, right? Just so over
Who are
the
the other
top,
three?
so silly. And The
It's
Mask.
him 4 times.
You know how you know how
would
Deadpool
be
was
hilarious.
made for Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
The Mask was made for Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
And it's like you know when he's making like he's got all the guys and he's doing the dance and they're
Dun,
like,
dun,
he's
dun,
like,
dun, dun,
oh,
dun,
did
dun.
someone ask for a Tommy gun? And it's just like
I need
it's
to watch
so
that film
Jim
again.
Carrey. It's just
No, Milo, the keys, not the cheese.
but yeah, that's my top three again. It'll probably change tomorrow, but
Cameron Diaz in
oh
that
my god,
film.
slightly
There's-
damp. It's raining, isn't it?
There
Oh,
she is.
it's
There she is.
outrageous.
I always
It's
think
the red
of,
dress and the red
Yeah,
lipstick.
have you ever
yeah,
been to
like
the Ned
combo.
in Bank in London?
The what?
The
All
Ned.
right, mate.
Yeah.
It
that's-
reminds
that's
me of that
yeah.
bank in
Oh, proper.
The Mask. That's
Actually
all I
does.
think about.
Actually does. You
I
ever
don't
been to the
frequent
Ned?
the Ned, by the way. If
Oh,
you're
mate,
thinking,
getting
if you're judging me,
30 quid for an old fashioned in the Ned.
Also, did we not go to that club?
it's not a club. It's a
No, the club from the film. Is that not in
it's Coco
Cancun?
Bongos.
It's Coco Bongos. We've been
Oh,
there.
is it?
Brother, we've met
That's
there.
where me and Ben met in
Oh,
Cancun.
shit.
Didn't meet in that place.
No, but that's a great tie in that, lad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
100%.
Nice.
And you come in, boy.
It's all right. I went there on my own.
What Coco?
Of course he did.
I actually did. When I went to
Coco
go
Bongos.
meet, when I went travelling, I had 48 hours in Cancun by myself.
That sounds like a YouTube video in itself.
Those were a storied
So
48
Dean,
hours.
Dean,
I can tell you.
over to you, mate. You tell us what your top three comedy movies are.
I mean, we've already mentioned The King, haven't we, really?
Who's the
I've
King?
Just, Jim Carrey. I've just gone for a Carrey 1, 2, 3, haven't I?
So give us your criteria if you don't mind. mate.
Yeah, so the criteria, a soundtrack, I think. Like,
Oh, that's an interesting shout.
For a comedy, I mean, I like a soundtrack in any movie.
not one that you'd actually listen to, but like, you know, when you like, okay, so Dumb and Dumber, it's number one, right?
Yeah.
Come on, it has to be. For me personally, but like, you know, the song at the start, dun-dun-dun, you know, like wine your body, you know, when he's like driving the
Talk about
the shagging
soundtracks.
wagon.
Austin Powers, the start of that.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a soundtrack and just if the dafter the better, innit? You know what I mean? Like I said, like you were saying about with his hands, like imagine if they just got bigger every time. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that would
It's just people being
knock me out the
playful in the
park.
writing process,
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
And Jim Carrey was obviously like just the king that just he probably just made that up. It wasn't even scripted. He probably just made that
Yeah,
up.
I almost
believe
think
it.
he'd be a bit of a nightmare on set in
Oh,
some
yeah,
way.
You know he would be.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right.
100%. But yeah, I'm going Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura 2, which again,
Yes.
was
The second one, that's
being
two
better.
sequels in there, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
That's objectively true. The second one is better than the first one.
What about
Ace Ventura 2
Yeah,
is-
the
yeah,
first one
James
is.
It's a higher rated movie for sure, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think sometimes with comedies, I think the modern sequel falls down on this. I think the old 90s and early noughty sequels, because they weren't cash grabs as such.
Yeah.
They almost just had more fun because they knew that people already bought into it.
Yes,
Whereas
exactly.
now,
That's
like
exactly
Anchorman, the sequel for that, it was
just tried
so
to
many
blow you out
nods,
the park
so many
with
nods
stuff.
back.
Yeah, too much homage.
And then they brought Brick out too much.
because he was now super famous. Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
but it was a bit part player. The whole point of him was and Champ, and then it was like Champ kind sports.
Kind.
Whammy.
Just overplayed the whammy hard. didn't they?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Just
The old
overdid
these
it.
ones, they basically knew what
Overdid
was
it.
good in the first, made it more outrageous.
Yeah.
I do get
And well, me, myself, and Irene is the third Jim Carrey one. But what I was
I
going to
haven't
say
seen that
was
in ages, you know.
what for me, you can't like every line just has to be a joke. Like, do you know what I mean? They've created it so that there's a joke in
There's
every.
no filler.
There's a joke in every sentence almost.
And
or it
every
could be.
character's got a line as well.
Yeah,
Like in
like
me, myself, and Irene, every character has a line.
Oh
don't
yeah,
they?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah, for sure in that film. Yeah.
It's a ridiculous movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine
when he's
writing
beating
that
himself
down.
up at the end. Like, that's incredible acting. For
I
one.
always think
Yeah, true.
That's incredible. Like.
we love that guy on Instagram. Is it Evan?
Oh, he's so good.
We'll put him up. He does like he basically like takes the piss out of how Hollywood creates these movies, and he's like, right, and he's always like pretending he's coked up because like obviously he does like right Michael Bay movies, explosions, go, and he's like
You're fired.
Like, I always think about it being in that meeting room, pitching me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing stone faces.
Yeah,
Like,
because
oh,
they're
this is
execs.
not-
They're
Yeah, they don't get it. They
Yeah,
don't get it at all.
yeah.
No, so true.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, how did he get that?
So we got Dumb and Dumber,
Ace Ventura
Ventura
2,
2,
and Me, Myself, and Irene.
Solid.
There's- I mean, like the Mask. Now you've mentioned the Mask.
Four
like,
Jim
as a Carrey
Carreys
film.
in the top 6 so far. That's
To be expected, boys. I'll be honest with you.
He's silly.
go on then, Ben. Over to you, mate.
Right, so I'll just quickly cap off my criteria. So initially, I'll say not that it's most important, but I'll just say the premise, like a funny premise to begin with, is also grand.
What do you mean by the word?
So like just the whole setup, what the film is based on, like Naked Gun movies are all ridiculous in premise alone.
Yeah.
So even if
Reading the
acting
blurb is
wasn't
almost
good,
funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
you just go,
Got
what
you.
is this? Right. So that premise first and foremost. I'd say individual acting performances that help elevate that film above and beyond, which is like people that we've already mentioned with Jim Carrey, is a prime example.
But
of
also
someone doing
side
that.
characters as well on that. I
Yes.
think. Because you need a good, funny guy that's a bit more over the top, maybe than the main guy sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
Danny McBride does that better than a lot of people.
Such a good bit part.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's such a good player for that. And I'd say, finally, probably quotes. It has to be quotable, so you can have that like water cooler chat about it, and that's where it's fun, right? Just recounting it with your mates afterwards.
Yeah, and bringing it up. I mean, most of our laughs are, where have you pulled that quote
Yes,
from?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And most of our laughs are also quotes that we've just said like a million times as well. And
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
funny. Like,
So basically, all of our personalities are completely stolen from films that we've seen.
100%.
And that's okay.
it's a sham of a sham.
That's a sham.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
So I would have said, and I'm going to just revise this episode slightly because we've already had this now, but Dumb and Dumber probably is the pinnacle, and I'm going to say
Therefore,
unequivocally
it's
number one.
it's kind of got to be maybe in the top 3 at least, maybe, just from a proxy perspective.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I'd lean it more towards the top one, but we'll get into
same.
that as time goes on.
I am. I'm going to ruffle some feathers.
Oh
mate.
yeah, you are. I can already feel it.
Someone had to.
I don't hate Dumb and Dumber for the record. I just never loved it. I think maybe I didn't watch it enough because I think some of these movies they're linking back to our childhood. Probably why
Yes.
the Gen Z now maybe haven't watched The Mask or
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber because it's just not their thing. I never binged it, and a lot of my top ones I have watched
They're
maybe
definitely ones that
6 or 7 times.
Yeah, you've got to binge it. Yeah, for sure.
So let's say then I'll move straight on to what I'll use instead because Dumb and Dumber has been taken by you already. So I'm going to say Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is absolutely.
I mean, you're
in the
talking
top
to a guy.
three.
You're talking to a
golf
golfer.
guy. So
And it
good.
was at the time as well, from a golf perspective, it was really ahead of its time because golf now is starting to become a bit more cool, a bit more athletic, a bit more characters on there. You probably don't see it yet because you're not really into it, but back then it was a real shock to like the white country club system of golf. Like it's pre-Tiger Woods, really, isn't it? Like
I mean, golf. Doesn't golf
valid.
stand for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden? Like
that's not.
Is that a lie?
That's, yeah.
there's a conspiracy.
Dad's done me there, isn't he? That's one of Dad's. That's true. That
Shout out Dean's dad,
Yeah,
who
it's
is
true,
who we
that.
need to get on this podcast at some point. The man eats. What does he eat? We had a day out with your dad, didn't we, in the summer?
What a man.
And he told us what he goes. Oh, I don't have any. He's from Birmingham, same as me and Dean. He goes, I don't have any problems with me gut. No problems because I eat the same thing every day. I have an ham sandwich, and at night, every night without fail, Sam, we'll have a curly whirly.
Mate, when I go home, you open a cupboard in the bathroom and the curly whirly falls out.
Whirly's coming out.
Like,
He's the only man keeping the curly whirly sub-franchise.
Yeah, honestly,
100%.
they're literally sales must be constant.
Shout out Dean's dad.
She's putting my kid through college.
Curly whirly college.
The irony that your hair's curly, I guess.
Wow.
Don't eat
There's a
them.
leap. Yeah, there
Talking
you
of
go.
leaps.
So I'd put Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, make room for that.
Yeah.
Make room for that for sure. I'm putting Happy Gilmore right onto that Mount Rushmore.
So talking of big actors,
Gilmore's top
Adam
10 as well,
Sandler's
by the way.
only done this genre, right? So what makes you pick that one of not only but predominantly? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What makes you pick? So fundamentally, that's your top Adam Sandler film by proxy, then.
Easily, yes.
So why do you think that's better than the others?
It's head and shoulders above the rest in terms of the premise. Again, like you said, it's complete shock factor. This is not really something you've seen anywhere else. It's the first time you've seen it be done.
Yeah.
Done to the extent in which he did it. It's even the character's even reluctant to be there, which also makes it funny too.
Yeah.
Like
I know
he's
what you
found he's
mean.
got this particular skill, but he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing. So therefore,
Go to your home, ball.
You took it for your home. Answer me. Yeah, it's really good.
And Shooter McGavin
Shooter McGavin.
is such
there you
a
go.
good
That's the side
bad guy.
actor that's
villain.
like, just
Now,
kills
what's a
it.
villain?
Yeah,
Now-
what a villain.
Me and you have shared a few Shooter McGavin. What's the actor's name?
Oh, I'm gonna space and I feel really bad.
But basically, if you don't know, the actor who plays Shooter McGavin
I'm the shooter.
is living off Shooter McGavin still. Christopher McDonald.
Christopher McDonald.
He was the
living off
bad
it.
guy in Flubber as well, if you remember. He stole
stop
Robin
it.
Williams'
Was
wife
he
in
actually?
Flubber.
Good
He
lad.
just plays that guy you just want to...
So smarmy.
Smarmy.
Yeah, smarmy.
But
That's
the
the best
amount
word.
of pictures of him with his hands around women that are 25 years younger than him, apparently he's got a bit
I
of
think he got
a
in
bit of
trouble
a
for some
coke
of this,
habit.
by
He's
the
got
way.
in trouble.
Yeah,
It's a bit
yeah.
grabby.
We don't know that
But-
for sure.
We don't have
Oh,
that
I
for
think
sure.
I think we do.
If he is cleared, though, if
defaming
he is
his
cleared, I would
whatever
love him on this
character.
podcast just because he's got one of them lives that
Wow.
I find interesting. The kind of people that have done one couple of things and they live off it. You just got to. It's a really unique life, isn't it? To quiz.
Yeah.
And he's interesting
He's still
because
doing meet and greets dressed as Shooter
definitely-
McGavin and
yeah,
stuff. Do you know what I mean?
It's
Oh,
like
that's
it's the
bad.
equivalent of like them weird obscure club nights and like
Yeah.
random
The
like Carlisle.
Live PA by
Yeah.
flipping, I don't know.
the thing is, he's got undeniable talent though from watching that film. So you
Well, he
wonder
played the
why
role
he hasn't.
perfect,
Yeah,
right?
well, why he hasn't done.
But maybe
more
he's only suitable for
that
smarmy
thing,
golf
typecast,
villain.
yeah, you're probably
You know
right.
what I mean?
Okay, so you've done how many you done now?
I've only done one.
No, you haven't.
I'm going to speed through. I'm going to speed through the last two because I got rid of Dumb and Dumber for Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So second one on
We
that
could
list.
make this episode a bit longer. I think we should make this a bit longer.
Okay, I'm happy
Yeah?
to go then.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's go.
Let's
We're
give
we're
them
still
the
in our
grace they
infancy
deserve.
here. We don't have any rules.
True,
We're not
true,
calling all the
true.
shots. Yeah, exactly.
Let's give it the grace it deserves. So I will say second on the list is Zoolander. Because of course it is. Of course it is.
Talking of bit part characters, Billy Zane. Billy Zane.
in unison.
Billy Zane.
I know. it's
If
great.
you're
That was
watching,
great.
when you're watching,
Yeah, when?
hit us up. We'll have you on in a heartbeat.
We loved you in Phantom, bro.
We loved you, Phantom. He looked down the lens for that
Oh,
as well.
I want Billy to know
Billy built that
we
in
loved
his
you
soul.
in Phantom. What a man.
Oh, Zoolander is just, it's so
That's
stupid
wacky,
on
innit?
premise.
That's wacky, yeah.
I mean, just Owen Wilson arriving at a premiere on a scooter to start with. And the opening credits of Choco Mocha Frappuccino. Jitterbug.
Oh, yeah. But also, nothing is funnier in talking about entrances when he turns up to the funeral. He's got his own music playing. Hansel. And it's just like he's got a keyboard.
And I mean, Ben Stiller in that is phenomenal,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because
Yeah.
he's not a model guy. Like, in terms of, he's not that handsome Hollywood. He's not the Matthew McConaughey, which makes it better in a way, in my opinion.
Diamond in the rough, is he?
But I mean, the bit where he goes off the rails and he starts mining. He's like, I got the black lung, Pop. And he gets the phone call on his tiny phone. And he's like, God?
What are you talking about?
They're in the pub and his advert comes on. Water is the essence of life.
Moisture is the essence of wetness.
Oh, that was it. And wetness is the essence of moisture. Merman pop. The guy who plays his dad he's
John Voight.
So you know him, but you
Of
don't
course,
know.
I know John
Shooter
Voight.
McGavin.
John Voight is Angelina Jolie's dad, by the way. Yeah, you might not know that.
Really?
You might not know that. And Vince Vaughn's the brother in that scene as well.
He is. Yeah,
yes,
he
yeah.
is. But that's.
I
that's
thought for some reason I just thought of Vince McMahon, but yeah, no, Vince
That's
Vaughn.
fucking hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn and Vince
McMahon was so good in Wedding Crashers, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
Movie,
brought a
by the way.
real
Yeah,
different
no,
energy.
Wedding Crashers is
Wedding
top
Crashers
10
is
actually
sick.
as well.
Wedding
It's in-
Crashers. Well, you
Right,
say
no
that.
more top tens. No more
All
top
right,
tens.
cool,
of those. Oh, actually,
But what we're going to do, though,
Yeah, you got
here
another
for
one, you got
people,
another one.
we're going to throw some names out, and you've got one more, but we are going to organise these because we all respect that you said Zoolander, I've gone, oh.
Yeah.
So we're going to organise them. We're going to ask you to submit some bits as well. And then the next episode, we're going to try and order them as best we can. But we know it's going to be a moving beast. And we know we're going to ruffle some feathers. We know we're going to do our best. And we're going to...
Those feathers aren't. yeah, correct. I forgot what I didn't know. Yeah.
I won't go too deep into this last one because I know that nobody here has seen it yet, and most of you probably won't have done either. But based on my top two, you know I'm reliable. You know I'm making good suggestions straight up.
The politician.
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
yeah.
So I would say my third one's a real outside shout, and it is Bowfinger. And you
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Yes, I've never seen Bowfinger. I've heard it's funny. We need to watch this.
Steve
So
Martin,
tell us the...
Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy, Heather Graham.
I mean,
you've got
there
a
you go,
real
that
ensemble
cast
cast.
already,
It's-
Yeah. Off the bat, you've sold me on the cast.
Yeah.
What's
Straight
the
up.
premise of the film?
So I can't go too deep without making some spoilers, so I won't go too heavy into it. But it's basically about a film production company trying to make a film in the cheapest way possible to try and save their
Already
company
sounds-
from going down the drain.
Okay.
great.
And it's by hook or by crook, and they just really make
So
this
it's
work.
fourth wall-y... Well, no, it's a film about a film,
It's a film about a film.
but it's not broken fourth wall.
No, and there's certain characters that know they're in the film, certain characters that don't know they're in the film. There's
Ah,
a
okay.
lot to,
Oh, wow.
Bit
there's a lot to chew on.
mockumentary
There's a lot
or-
to, well, no, won't go that far because they're still very
Still a film.
very character driven. Yeah. So, but honestly, there's layers to it, and it's incredibly
Talking
funny.
of shoddy stuff, I don't think this just should be in there because it's a bit too weird for me. Have you ever watched Casa de Mi Padre?
It's
What?
just ridiculous.
Casa de Mi Padre.
It is
It's an
ridiculous.
all Spanish
Sounds-
movie with Will Ferrell, who I'm not sure
what?
can speak Spanish in it either.
my God.
No, I
And
think he's got really good Spanish, is he not?
Does he? Because I wasn't sure because I can't speak it myself. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
valid.
he's just.
I can imagine I'm having good Spanish. to be
But
fair.
in the movie, there's like the lighting guy the lights will just fall down.
yeah, no, I'm all for that.
And like a
shit.
ladder
I'm
will just come
so
across the
for
scene.
that shit.
But it's too much. It's awkward to watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
right,
But
okay.
it's a fun watch first time.
It's a bit like a Garth Marenghi's
All right.
Dark Place.
How about we do a bit of a
It's a
speed
It's a mad
round
place, that is.
for some extras
okay,
here? Okay. So we haven't really mentioned Will Ferrell. So why don't we do a Will Ferrell
Wedding
speed round?
Crashers.
Okay.
That's going in. That's
Step
Will
Brothers.
Ferrell's in that as
But
well. right?
okay, but let's start. Okay,
How are we
Ferrell,
doing this,
Will Ferrell lead.
My favourite Will Ferrell lead film.
Yeah.
Other guys. It's got to be Other Guys, isn't it?
It's got to be Anchorman. First one, obviously.
I agree with both of you in some respect. I think Anchorman is just an eternal movie.
Yes.
I think I've overwatched it now, but Other Guys is the most quotable movie of Will Ferrell.
I think I just enjoy.
Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights is phenomenal.
Oh.
If you don't shoot Big Red, you're a pussy. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip.
Shut up, Chip!
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, no, it's so good. to be
I
fair.
mean, that
Little
film is
tiny
utterly
baby
ridiculous.
Jesus.
It's little 6 pound, 3 ounces Jesus.
Like my Jesus to party. Yeah.
I picture my Jesus wearing a piano necktie because it says I'm formal, but I like to party because I like to party and I want my Jesus to party.
Did it perfectly
Oh,
well.
wow.
That was
Very
incredible.
good.
Brilliant. Other guys though, wow, my God.
Oh, I just.
It's up there.
Like, just killing off.
a 200-pound tuna off the coast of South Africa, I'm assuming, with waves 30 foot coming after me, a lion.
Look, they made some breathing apparatus.
We make some breathing apparatus from kelp, and we get a taste of lion. And you know what? Lion tastes good.
Yeah. There it is.
So
Hit
good.
that.
But killing
Hit
off, having started the film with
The
those
sound
two
of your
big
piss,
actors.
the sound of your pee hitting your idol, it's feminine.
I love it when he goes off. Like that.
when he does the dancing to try and get his ballerina girlfriend back, and he's like, "You learned to dance like that, ironically." Also,
Well, I won't ballad of emotion today. Or he's leaving.
the cucumber accents the water in such a way.
On the end of the Knicks
Jersey
game.
Boys or Mamma Mia? Steve Coogan in that movie.
Coogan, yeah.
You're a
That's
big Steve Coogan fan.
Yeah, Alan Partridge is.
I think the Americans do silly better than English. I think English do witty better and we do series better. I do think Americans do silly. We haven't mentioned one British movie yet, apart from Austin Powers, which is
I mean, you've got
probably an
Monty
American
Python,
studio.
like, those kind of
definitely
ones.
Yeah, Monty Python, Spinal Tap for the older crowd.
Even with those films, they are silly, but they are witty. Whereas some of these American films are probably just a little bit
Talladega
silly.
Nights is just
It's just silly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, The Holy Grail is possibly one of the greatest films of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Factually correct as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm gonna throw
you
the-
mean in terms of history?
Yeah.
Also, for me, these movies don't have to be good movies either for me to enjoy them.
Ooh,
The
okay.
Campaign, for example, not a great movie.
Yeah.
But the quotes in it.
Yeah, the camp. Yeah.
What's Zach
But you know,
Galifianakis is
but
like,
you know you're watching it.
I'm
and you're
going to
not- you're
roll up
just
my
chilling.
sleeves, pack my sack lunch, and get a broom because it's a mess.
I
How do you
will
know
say, do you know what I mean? Where's he wheeled that one out from? I will say,
My old housemate, Simo, is
he's got
the
it.
best
He's got it on
at
lock.
quoting Campaign.
Yeah, true. He's got it.
what you've just mentioned there has made me think of probably the most film that's like that, and that is Little Nicky. Because I can watch Little Nicky straight faced.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I'm thinking about some of the lines that have been said and some of the things that I've seen, and I'm like, fuck me, that's hilarious. But when I was watching it, I was like,
How did
What
they?
is
what is
this?
this?
How did they pass?
Talking-
how did that get?
I don't-
how did
I
that
don't
pass
know.
production? Do you know what I
Talking
mean?
of
Like,
silly, The Dictator. I know
Haven't
you like The
seen it.
Dictator.
Haven't seen
Yeah, the
It
dictator's
is
up there.
so silly. The bit where, I mean, there's so many bits, but the bit at the end with Sacha Baron Cohen, and he's like, he's on a tightrope between buildings, and he's going, "We're going down. We need to reduce weight," and he gets a brick out of his pocket, and he goes, "Why are you carrying a brick?" He goes, "To counteract the other brick." He gets a brick out of the pocket.
That's brilliant. That's classic writing. That
It's just good,
That's classic
silly
comedy
writing.
That's
And
classic
then
comedy writing.
One of my favourite bits in that movie is when he's in what's the name of the fake state that he's from? I can't remember now. It's a fake Middle Eastern country that's really oil rich.
Oh, hold on, I might have that.
And let's have a look.
I might have that.
And he basically goes to New York, and he gets de-bearded by Step Brothers. Who's the second actor in Step Brothers? Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, and he cuts his beard and he goes like he's doing torture methods, and because he's already tortured loads of people, the dictator is like, the Fallujah fire hose? We actually de-escalated that because it's too safe.
Oh my god!
And he goes, I don't even want to torture you now. He goes, no, go on, no, sorry, I let you carry on. Like, I don't want to. It's just utterly
He made
ridiculous.
up his own names for fucking torture methods. Yeah, the Fallujah fire hose.
The Fallujah fire hose.
The simple but funniest joke in that entire film is not even one that he says himself. It's the fact that he, as a dictator, is like outlawed a bunch of words or changed words to be his own name.
Yeah.
And the words for positive and
Aladdin.
negative have been changed to Aladdin.
It's like
In the doctor's office. Do you want the Aladdin news or the Aladdin news?
You are HIV, Aladdin. And the patient goes,
Because you don't know which one it is. It just drops.
and he does this thing when he wants to get rid of someone.
Yeah. He thinks
It's amazing.
man.
And there's a bit where he's basically getting quizzed by this restaurant owner who doesn't like the dictator. And at this point, he's not the dictator anymore. He's been replaced by a fake. And he
Spoilers.
goes, "What is your name?" And he's looking around the restaurant and he's just reading signs for his name. He's like, "Max occupancy, 120 people. That is not a name. What is your name?" And he goes, "Employees. Employees must wash hands." Employees must wash hands.
He's brilliant. Baron Cohen.
A genius.
Yeah. I mean, Borat's too much for me. I can't even watch that. But
Borat's good. Bruno
he
probably
is
is the one
amazing.
that leans a little bit into it. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Borat literally
Absolutely.
started off a
Bruno
whole
is what I meant.
time of life, didn't it? Like,
True.
Borat
Yeah.
literally, those guys on the bus that like literally had their lives changed forever. You know,
Well,
like,
didn't they? That country tried to sue him.
Or the gay conversion
like-
guy. The gay conversion guy that tries to convert Bruno. And he just basically and he has that woman, and she's got. He just makes a fool of him. Makes a fool of everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that America
Bruno's
show he
mad.
did recently, where he like literally was chased out of places.
That
wasn't
was
he?
rough.
When he was going to build the mega mosque in that like conservative town.
Oh God, it gets himself into some dangerous.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, we could go on forever on this, couldn't we? I think we should probably wrap there. You let us know what your favourite comedies are. We'll go through a few of the submissions in the
throw
next
some comments
episode.
in there, right,
We've
if we
probably
missed
gone
something.
over and above, but like, who cares? We can do what we want.
Period. Yeah,
We can
it's
do
our show.
It's our show.
Do what we want out here.
And if you're still watching,
I'm a peacock,
you
let
know
me
we
fly.
can. I'm a peacock, man. You can't let me fly. You shot Jeter. He's a biracial angel.
Derek,
Kansas City
it.
championship. Other guys,
note.
go
Other
and
guys
watch it.
isn't that good.
Also, if you're commenting, throw in your most obscure quote, and
Yeah, give
we'll
us some
try and
quotes,
guess
man.
as well.
Oh, do that. Yeah, I'll play
And do that on
game all day.
every video.
Yeah.
Throw in your obscurest quotes, and
Yeah,
we'll go
even if
through
we're
them.
not talking about movies, just throw in a weird movie quote.
And we've got to
Let's go
guess
for
it.
We'll
We've
play
got to
that
guess
game
it.
all day long. That's
day.
perfect.
But amazing. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe on your podcast, give us a rating.
fellas.
But anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Love.
And we'll see you on Friday.